Hello and welcome to another episode of The Checkpoint. You know us from Video Game Book Club, but this is the show between the show where we check in on our Video Game Book Club progress and we talk about everything and anything in the video game sphere, let's call it. I'm your host, Juan Pablo JP, and this is your co-host, the one and only Benjamin Tizzle Toops. How you doing, my boy?
Doing pretty good. You know, I'm a little tired. I'm a little tired. I woke up pretty early this morning to do a pretty long run. I've got a half marathon coming up in a couple of weeks, so I'm locked in on that, getting those runs in, but I'm doing good. I mean, how could you not be doing good as a gamer right now with everything coming out that we're obviously going to talk about?
I am. First of all, I'm super excited for your half marathon. You have to send me the info so I can track you and run with you mentally alongside of you as you do this. But two, yeah, bro, but how much? We don't have any more time.
No.
It's September. 2025 is ending in literally 3.5 months, which isn't great. It makes me feel like the whole year just went by. And also, I need more time to play all of these games. And Benjamin, we also have to play an additional game on top of all the other games that we want to play because of Video Game Book Club. So how can we balance that, Ben? How can we do it?
We need an 8th day of the week. Is that too much to ask? Can we get an executive order for an 8th day of the week where everyone can just play the games in their backlog? I think that would be a pretty popular policy. So
I think so, especially only for those who are in the Buenale Games Discord. You know, if you're in the Buenale Games Discord, you get an 8th day.
We'll give you a note that you can show to your employer that just says, "I'm in the club. I will not be here on Mondays."
In the club, we all fam, and we all are playing our video games on Monday. So yeah, we're not gonna come in. Sorry, not sorry. But speaking of Video Game Book Club, Ben, and a game that you can play when you're feeling a little bit tired, when you have a little bit of a brain fog, like I do, is our game of the month, dude. Cassette Beasts, the game that I chose. It was my pick for this month, and I'm absolutely enjoying it. Honestly, I'm having a really good time. This morning I woke up. I have something. Wait, okay, this is a parenthesis already. We're not even gonna get on the game just yet. This is something that I've told my wife, my friends that I have, and I don't know if I've ever told you, but every morning.
Wow, breaking news.
I know. I'm sorry. Every morning when I wake up, I have a song stuck in my head without fail every single morning. I have a bunch of dreams. So I have a bunch of dreams.
Every morning
I wake up and a song is playing in my head when I wake up. Plus,
I think you need to wake up from a dream. I think you need to see a doctor.
So I call them. No, it's great. I call them my dream songs, and then what I do is I make my coffee or I make something, and I tell my Alexa robot to play me that song that morning.
Nice.
But today I woke up with one of the Cassette Beasts songs stuck in my head. That was my dream song.
Oh, wow.
Because I've been enjoying those songs so much, and it just kind of reminds me of Pokemon and how like learning all the tunes from all the different villages or towns that you visit, plus every route and all the battle tunes and stuff. I'm having the same kind of that nostalgic fun tunes happening with Cassette Beasts. But yeah, that was my dream song this morning.
Wow, I love that. If you're in the Video Game Book Club Discord, which if you're not, you should be. We got the links in the description to join the Discord, join the club. It's always fun to talk about the game of the months. There's been kind of some heated debate around the songs specifically. Kind of because of me. It's because of my opinion.
Which is wrong.
But I started Cassette Beasts for the first time. And, the nice instrumental music comes on, you're playing the game. It's great. You're getting introduced to the little village. You're kind of wandering around. And then all of a sudden something happens. There's a lyrics in the songs, which coming from a Pokemon background, coming from a Pokemon game to this, where the songs are just pure kind of 8-bit style instrumentals, coming from that to this very modernized music with sung lyrics was the most jarring thing in the world to me. And I was like, this is I immediately looked at the settings and there was an option to disable the lyrics. And
You're such a Weenie Hut Junior, dude. You're such a Weenie Hut Junior. Also, the song is a banger. That song is such a banger. And every time I go to that main city, that main village, I'm pumped to listen to it. Like I go just honestly just so I can hear that song. And just so you know, there's only like 5 songs that have lyrics. Only in the main cities do the songs have lyrics. Every other place, like when you're like in the wild, I guess, and traveling and fighting, there's no lyrics. So there's only like 5 songs with lyrics. So you are officially a Winnie Hut Jr. But I understand. I guess I'll never know. Yeah, I guess we'll never know. I understand what you mean, but dude, okay, a little bit of Cassette Beasts. If you like have no idea what it is, even though if you're in the book club, you know what it'd be. It's basically a Pokemon-like game, a monster collecting game where you are stranded on this island, you and everyone else on this island. So it's like Lost. It's like Lost with Pokemon, basically. You're stranded on this island and you're trying to get out and you don't know how you got there. And so you kind of like travel all over the island. I guess you find these like mystical creatures called archangels, and they somehow have like the ability to maybe help you get out of this island. But they're very like, cryptic and mystical. You don't really know anything about them, and they also like wreck your crap. They're like the bosses of the game too. So you're that's kind of what you're trying to do, trying to figure out what's going on. No one really knows what's going on, and there's a bunch of rangers, just like Pokemon Rangers, I guess. There's this like community, I guess, or organization that wants to take care of the city or the island. They're rangers. They're really strong. They can tame these Pokemon or beasts. Please, Nintendo, don't come to me, please.
We'll talk about that too.
Yeah, we will. And they give you like tasks, and you can defeat them, and that makes your ranger ranking go up. And then it's kind of like there's a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of like those are like your gym battles, but there's also like actual like boss battles, mystical creature battles and stuff. So that's kind of the game. But I've been enjoying it a lot, man. There's a lot of secrets everywhere. You unlock these skills based on the beasts that you capture. Yeah. And they give you kind of like, let's call it Metroidvania type skills that let you like unlock different areas or different like hidden places or dungeons or caves in this island. And so you can do a lot of like backtracking, try to look at every nook and cranny of the island to find items, to find like, hidden, not Pokemon, but beasts in the island, so that you can collect your not Pokedex, but bestiary and keep going. But yeah, anyways, I've been enjoying it a lot. I've been really having such a good time with it.
Yeah, I'll say that for whatever reason, the game just started really slow for me. Like getting into it, the first couple times I played felt kind of like a slog a little bit, and I wasn't like excited to keep playing it. And I really can't even put my finger on why. I feel like maybe just the progression was very slow at first, but maybe I was just playing in short bursts, so there just wasn't a lot happening. But I think it's turned around a little bit. Like I think I've started to explore more of the map. I'm like getting to, more of the evolutions and fusions and stuff like that. So I'm definitely enjoying it more now than I was at the beginning. And you touched on the archangels, which are, like you said, the bosses of the game. That was the most surprising part of the game to me, because they are like, so, the presentation of the game is exactly what you would expect of a Pokemon type game, right? It's very simple, very, unabrasive. But the presentation of the angels is the total opposite. They're like, they go against everything in the world. They look out of place, and it's really
different
well
sprite
done.
Styles too.
Exactly.
Like the texture of them is different.
Yeah, so that that was one of the things that kind of got me back into it. Was I was like, I need to know what is going on with these archangels. So that's been the craziest part of the game.
They kill people like, too. This dude got smited. Like genuinely smited in a portion of the game. Spoilers, I guess, but I was like, what? Like this is supposed to be a PG, bro.
Yeah. But so I'm enjoying it as well. I definitely got to put some more hours in. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. Ben, why don't you give me your favorite beasts right now that you have in your collection, in your party?
It's hard. I think my favorite might be... It's a tough call. I think my favorite might be Tokusect, which is the evolution of the kind of owlish Pokemon at the beginning.
I can't remember.
It transforms into like a ninja owl, basically. So I've been like using the parry move on that a lot, and then combining it with like a Pokemon with really high evasion or defense or something like that. So that's been pretty good for me. And then there's like kind of the starter snake Pokemon as well, which evolves into this really cool. Yeah, it evolves into the third evolution. One of them, I think.
Well, he has two.
But it's like it's like a Medusa type thing, and it's I really like the presentation of that one. So those are probably my favorites so far.
That's one thing that's so cool about it, because there's different paths that these evolutions can take, and sometimes you choose not the incorrect one, but you choose one and you're like, oh, it's cool. And then you see the other one in the wild and you're like, that's the one I want, And so it's happened to me multiple times where I chose the wrong one, quote unquote. There's no wrong answer, obviously.
Yeah.
And I want to complete the Pokedex, so, I'm going to do it. I think that one of the most goated Pokemon beasts that you get at the beginning
We're gonna get in trouble,
I
bro.
know, we really are going to get And I don't know how we're going to do the actual podcast for this game in 2 weeks' time. I'm going to say Pokemon. Drink every time I say Pokemon, actually. No, don't do that. You're going to go to the hospital. So you get Dandelion at the beginning of the game, and it evolves into Blossoma. Blossoma?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
And Blossoma is the ultimate like tank utility mon, dude. He is so strong. But eventually you uncover like in the city that you are, it's called like Harbor Town, I think. You can only access half of it at first, and then you can access the other half later. And when you do access that other half later, they teach you that there's shinies in this game, and the shinies are called like
I think they're called bootlegs.
Bootleg, thank you. Yes, they're called bootlegs, which is a great name. And so they're like, hey, but, why don't you try this bootleg? And so they just gift you a poison type Blossoma or a poison type Dandelion. So then you can train the poison type Dandelion and you get a poison type Blossoma. And it is so freaking strong. It's so good because you can obviously inflict poison. Then you can inflict leech, which is kind of like leech seeds in Pokemon. And then you can recover health every turn. You can do poison damage to them every single turn, and then you can do all other defense and utility moves so that no one attacks anyone other than Dandelion or Blossoma, and it's just so strong. So then you can throw whatever glass cannon that you have next to him, and you just wreck everyone. So
yeah,
definitely one of my favorite ones. And I also really like Cryoshear because he is like a glass cannon. Cryoshear is like a ice dude that has dual wielding swords, and he's just slicing and dicing. There's a Pokemon called Macabra, and he evolves into Folklore, and Folklore is a really, really strong kind of like another utility-ish like melee guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyways, those three I think are my favorite ones right now. And what I usually do is I carry 3 beasts that are like my main party, which right now it's those 3. And then I just carry baby Pokemon in the other 3. Make sure to drink. And just make sure that I evolve them. And then as soon as they evolve, I toss them away, unless they look cool. And then I keep them and then, get another 3 so that way I can catch them all. That's the point of it. Catch them all. But we're going to leave it there. We're not going to talk anymore about Cassette Beasts because we got to move on, and we can't just tease the whole Video Game Book Club episode that's coming out in 2 weeks. So Ben, what other games have you been playing?
I haven't been playing anything, but we talked about this a little at the beginning, but man, between Cassette Beasts and then, doing stuff for the podcasts and our channels and stuff, and then just life, right? You can only spend so many nights a week gaming before the gaming police start beating down the door for you to go watch Love Is Blind on the couch. But The the only other thing I've been playing besides Cassette Beasts, which you have been playing with me, is Split Fiction. We started on the Buenale Games Twitch channel. For the past few weeks, we've been playing Split Fiction. So after the first game we streamed was Chained Together, which was chaotic to say the least, but it was a good time.
Oh yeah.
And after we finished that, we asked the community what game we should play next, basically on stream, a co-op game. And the overwhelming answer was Split Fiction, to the point where we kind of like, not we're trying to avoid playing it, but we're wanting to explore other options. But the community will was so strong, play Split Fiction, that we were like, you know what, let's do it. So why don't you tell me a little bit about how your and my as well, experience has been with that so far?
It's been great. I've been enjoying it a lot, especially playing with my boy Benny. The game is, I gotta be honest, I'm not paying attention at all at what's going on. I'm just there to mess with Ben, to try to find all the secret worlds in Split Fiction, and just complain that he gets to do all the cool stuff and I don't get to do any of the cool stuff, only to find out that I will get to do cool stuff just like 5 minutes later. So that kind of has been going back and forth, which has been pretty good. But no, overall, the game, it looks great. I think it's fresh. It takes two, but kind of like turned up a little bit. The dial has been turned up a little bit. It definitely feels like a game that would be a lot harder to play with someone that doesn't know how to play video games. Whereas I think It Takes Two was slightly a little more, and I don't want to say easier, but maybe it helped.
I mean, I think that's the
easier.
right word.
Yeah, it might be just the right word. It is just a little bit easier for that person that doesn't really play video games. But no, I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying it a lot, and I've been enjoying everything. Everything from like the community being there, like telling us what we're doing wrong, and also that we're missing story beats, to us telling each other to shut up so we can hear what's going on in the game, only to find out that we missed everything and we're like, ooh.
I think there was a time when there was a cutscene happening, and I think one of us, I think probably me, was like, can we skip this cutscene? And then someone in the chat was like, this is like the most important cutscene so far. It's like, oh, my bad. But what you said about It Takes Two, that was like part of the reason I feel like we were hesitant to play it, is because I played It Takes Two with my wife. I think you did as well, at least part of it. And that game, you can tell that it's kind of geared towards being palatable for like a non-gamer audience, right? So it's like, it's not an unengaging game. It's fun, but I feel like the fun of it comes from playing it with someone that maybe doesn't play games as often. Like it's kind of a bridge the gap game where you can say like, listen, I play lots of games, you don't. This is a game kind of designed for us to play together, and I feel like it really succeeds at that. So looking at Split Fiction, which is made by the same devs, it's the same co-op only setup, I was like, is that going to be more of the same? Because if it's you and me, that might not be like super engaging for us, where if one of us feels like we're kind of
I'm a pro gamer.
Yeah, because we're pro gamers. But so that was kind of the reason I was hesitant. But I do feel like the gameplay is more tuned up in this one, like you said.
Well, the record does show that Ben has died 128 times in only
Who's responsible for
3 hours of gameplay. I would say I'm responsible for 20% of his deaths.
Interesting.
You think it's more? There's no way.
Check the tapes, folks.
Check the tapes. And I have died like 50% less times than Ben. That's all I'm going to say. So who's the pro gamer? It's like, and now you might say Ben is playing the harder character, but I'm not going to comment.
I don't know if there's, I don't know. We'll see.
No,
I'm sure it'll even out.
It'll even out. We'll see. One thing though that I was going to say is that I like the story. I know we were just talking about how we're not paying attention. We are. Okay, we are paying some attention. So, the story isn't like super deep. We get it. We understand what's going on. the story of Split Fiction is a lot more. It's a lot better, and maybe palatable is the right word that you were saying earlier, than It Takes Two, even though you were saying that It Takes Two is slightly more palatable for a non-gamer than Split Fiction. I just always felt that the It Takes Two story was so bizarre. It was just so weird, you know?
Yeah.
And especially playing like as a married couple, about a game about like a clearly dysfunctional couple that it may or may not get back together, and like probably shouldn't. It's just kind of weird, you know, kind of weirdo a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas Split Fiction, they didn't really like comment on that. It's just two strangers meeting for the first time, and like their differences and the way that they were raised and the stories that they want to tell and the things that they enjoy to do or write about separately, how they come together and kind of evolve in that friendship or acquaintanceship that is kind of forced based on, you know, the perilous adventure that they're on right now. So I think that story, this honestly makes more sense to me than It Takes Two. Like I think they're going in the right direction. I do like this team. I hope that they, you know, the next game also is a banger, and I will probably play the next one for sure.
Yeah. So we'll be playing Split Fiction on stream for the foreseeable future. I don't know how long it's going to take us, but we stream every Wednesday night at around 8:00 Central Time. So if you want to see us bicker and banter and try to kill each other, you know, come stop by. It's a good time.
Someone on the Discord sent a painting of a man holding something, maybe an apple or something, or a banana, I can't remember. And then a man behind that guy absolutely choking the crap out of him.
Interesting.
And then this person said, guess who is Ben and who is JP? And
open to interpretation.
Open to interpretation. I think everyone would probably agree, not me, that I was probably the one doing the choking. But I genuinely told Ben the other day, I was like, I don't know who's who. I feel like it could be either way, but maybe that's my ignorance of how I am and how our relationship is in a good way. You know, I love our dynamic. So if you want to see a little bit more of that, then definitely check us out. On Twitch. But hey, wait, do you hear that?
I don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything?
No.
Let me get a little bit closer to the mic. Welcome to Mini Video Game Book Club, the mini show where I play a mini game every single month and talk about it here on the checkpoint in front of all of you, so that you can get a little piece of what Video Game Book Club is all about in a mini form. This month, I actually played and finished, completed, and am ready to talk about Fly Night. Night. I talked about Fly Night a little bit last time because I was so busy with everything that we were doing and traveling and stuff that I actually wasn't able to do a mini video game book club. But this time I'm back. This is my third, I think, mini video game book club. And a lot of the community was telling me that I really needed to play Fly Night and I really needed to finish it. And I'm so glad that I did. So let me paint you a picture.
Sure.
Go back, Ben, to 2005, let's say between 2004 and 2007. You know, you're back there.
I've got my eyes closed.
You have your eyes closed. Thank you. You don't really have a lot of, you know, gaming consoles, not a lot of things that you can do. But you know what you do have is computers. There's computers in your house. Maybe now there's two computers in your house for the first time. You know, before you just had the one desktop in one office space and the whole family's trying to use it. And then you go on Google and you say, hey, best video game to play for free because I have no money because I'm 10 years old. And what comes up but RuneScape. Imagine if someone said, hey, dude, I'm going to make a Dark Souls game with insects that looks like RuneScape. And that's what Fly Night is.
I'd say no thanks.
What? Really?
In 2005, maybe not.
No, in 2025, bro. I didn't even know what Dark Souls was in 2005. It hasn't come out. I don't think.
True. It'd be revolutionary.
It would have been revolutionary. I would have been like, I don't get it. So Fly Night basically is it kind of has that vibe. It has this like janky feel to it, kind of like old school RuneScape textures in a kind of modernized way of how Dark Souls kind of works. You are a knight and you have no wings. You wake up to like a field of destroyed mosquitoes or flies, and you are by yourself, and you scavenge your first weapons and armor and stuff from the people around you who have unfortunately perished. And you're like, man, I'm a fly, but I have no wings. What the hell is going on? Oh my God, there's all these ants and other insects trying to attack me and kill me. And so you immediately start the combat tutorial, and you learn that just like in Dark Souls, you can, you have a stamina bar, you can kind of run, you can jump a little bit. I guess you can't jump in Dark Souls, but you can in Elden Ring. And you have directional hitting. So this is really important in the game. You can slash your sword left to right or right to left or up and down, or that's it. There is like nice. You can kind of like thrust it as well, so that's your fourth direction. But it matters because each insect, as you know, Ben, if you're familiar with your bugs, they have a bunch of limbs. They have different limbs, and each limbs matter because each limb has its own HP. And so if a ant is holding two swords, dual wielding swords with two of his arms, you can kind of hit at its arms, then it'll drop the arm, and then it won't have two swords anymore, it only has one. And then finally you can do the same thing to the other hand, and now the dude doesn't have any swords and doesn't have any weapons, and is just like running around at you trying to kick you and stuff instead, because that's all they have. But wait, you can also hit their feet. And so then you start hitting their feet, and all of a sudden there's just this ant, and all it is a torso and a head. And then you grab your mallet and you absolutely squash the crap out of that bug. And that is the core of Fly Night. It's just such a funny game, and it feels I don't want to say it feels good to play, because it is so slow, and intentionally so, though. Intentionally runs kind of not great, and it's full of bugs, wink, wink. Obviously, it is full of bugs, but it does have kind of some like visual bugs, some like audio bugs that are like make the game very charming. It was made by like 3 people, so clearly that's kind of part of its charm. But I found that directional hitting in the combat, well done. There's no, it's a simple game. It's also called, like, if you look at the executable file, it's called Fly Night Prelude or Prelude. I don't know how to say that, but basically, it feels, the game at the beginning kind of feels just like a demo. It feels like this developer is like, hey, this is what I can do. Like, maybe this is part of like his portfolio for being like a game developer. But then he said, whatever, I'm just going to make like a 3-hour game based on this idea that I have on this Dark Souls reimagined as like RuneScape with like, bugs in it. That's kind of what it felt like to me. And so basically there's 3 main areas of the game, and you as the Fly Knight, you want to figure out why all of your brethren don't have any wings anymore, and why you have been cursed with being wingless, and you can't fly. And so you learn that Luna Maroth, something like that, is I don't know, Luna Maroth, something like that, is the evil witch of this game, and she somehow made everyone, cursed every insect or fly to be wingless, and you're like, no, man, can't happen. So you go and you go fight them. You go, of course, through, it's like a dungeon crawler, so you go through some caves, do a little bit of fighting, a little bit of combat here. You have a bow and arrow, you do a little bit of shooting. You have spells, you do a little bit of spell casting. You meet some NPCs that don't like you, and some that do like you. And then you go through, you guessed it, the swamp area, and it's very swampy. Let me tell you, very, very swampy. Lots of mosquitoes, actual mosquitoes. So you're a fly, but there's mosquitoes in the game that want to suck your blood. Lots of very fun bug enemies, and then you finally make it to the end area, and I already forgot the name, but it's basically like a fortress area where you have some really cool boss fights, and you finally reach the Luna Moth, and you defeat her. And that's the game.
There you go.
Whenever you finish the game, the like the kind of the regular NPC that is kind of like your lord. You serve this guy or girl, I don't know, this entity, this fly, tells you that this is just the beginning, dude. You think you just beat the game, but this is just the beginning. And actually, some Lunamoth was trying to reach the moon because some entity in the moon was giving her the power to curse all the flies in the world to like take their wings away. And so, that expedition 34 is going to happen in this guy's next game, the developer's next game, probably. I mean, at least that's what he was alluding to. But yeah, that's kind of how the game ends. And you're like, cool, thank you so much for giving me this like 3-hour experience that I really, really enjoyed. And I'm super pumped to see what this developer, Miguel Arroyo, I think is his name, is going to do next. But a couple of things that I wanted to touch on that like why is this game worth it? Like, should you play this 3-hour game? For sure. There is something hidden everywhere. This dude put so many things in his world for you to try to uncover every single chest that you can, to try to say, man, there's a ledge here, but that ledge is definitely there on purpose. How can I reach it? Nothing in this game is not put but on purpose. And then you finally reach it somehow, and then you jump into like a platform that doesn't really look jumpable, and then you get there, and then you discover that there's like a hole right above you, and then so you jump there, and then you reach a room that has like 4 chests and like a boss, and you're like, oh, let's go, The looting in this game is crazy. You basically get like 1 million weapons for a game that's only 3 hours, so it kind of wants you to just fuck it, equip it, kill a couple enemies with this like big mallet, and then toss it away, and then grab a different weapon. And I have this like shovel looking thing, like a big slab of iron, I think it's called, and then you just super slowly swing it, and then you toss it away, and then this samurai wasp drops some katanas, and so you grab some katanas, and then you do some katanas. You can also do like summoning. There's some spells that you encounter where you can summon like spiders that don't really do anything, but it's funny to summon them. You can summon these like piranha plants, a la like the piranha plant from Mario, who will bite enemies that are around it. And yeah, just it incentivizes exploration so much. And that is the way of you like getting better at the game, if that makes sense. There's no like souls to it. There's no like, bonfire. Well, I mean, there are bonfires, but there's no bonfire where you level up. Everything that your incremental kind of gains come from all these weapons that you want to find based on your exploration that make you stronger. You can equip rings that give you passive abilities that make you stronger as well. So overall, Fly Night was great. I think the story makes some sense. I'm sure someone out there pieced together everything that every NPC said, and they understand the story. I don't think it
it's
matters.
A Dark Souls game.
Exactly.
The story can't make sense.
It literally doesn't matter, and it doesn't make sense. All you know is that after every area, there's a big boss that you enjoy fighting, and then you go to the next area. You don't play Dark Souls because you're like so enthralled with what the story is. But that is Fly Night.
At the end of the game, is there a moment where the fly like looks back to the camera and is like, "Come with me, there's more adventures to tell," and then like a rock song starts playing and the fly walks away? Did they pull a Senua's Sacrifice?
They didn't pull a Senua's Sacrifice. That's really good. No, the game ends. There's like a little red orb, and you interact with it, and it says, "Do you wish to end your quest now?" And you're like, "Sure." And then credits roll, and it's the shortest credits ever. It's like incredible. 3 people made the game, and then obviously like affiliate people that like help with translations and sound effects and stuff like that. And then it like, they thank his cats, I think, and then they thank you for playing. Okay. So no, it's really good. I think I was looking. Let me look on Steam super quick. I'm gonna do a little tune while I do this. Ta 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 Fly Night. Start page. I'm here. 7,600 overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. It's a lot for a game of this size. It is only $5.99, and if it's on sale, it's probably like $2.99, I think. Now, I think giving this dude $6 to play a really well done like 3.5 hour game is worth it, especially when there's some AAA games asking for, you know, a shitty remake for $70. Yeah, I'd rather do that. And
you're funding the full version with your
you're funding the full version. Exactly. I think they actually mentioned something like that in the credits, like, you know, thank you for those who thank you for the developers who release, like, you know, demos of their game for people to try and like get excited for their like full game release. So when is that going to happen? Who knows? I don't really follow this person on social media. I actually, Ben, between you and I and the people listening, finished the game 2 hours ago. So
nice.
Yeah. So yeah. But let me tell you my favorite funny moment of the game.
Sure.
There is fishing in this game. Of course there is.
You can
fish. There's 11 type of fish, and I found 9, and I'm really upset because I don't know where the other 2 were. And I finished the game, and you know, you're kind of kicked back to the beginning of the game, so I would have to play it again to find the other 2, and I'm good. I might do it, but you know, I would only do it if you play with me, because there's a co-op version. There's co-op version.
Oh wow!
You can load up with someone and play up to 4 people, and you can play online with 4 people, and you can also become a fly knight, and I'm another fly knight, and we just walk around and kick insects' butts, you know. Also,
dude, should have played this instead of Split Fiction.
No, we should have played this after Split Fiction, man. Come on, we're happy with Split Fiction.
I'm not beating the allegations right now.
There's friendly fire though in the game, which is funny because I found a ring that says that something like, friendly characters can't damage you, and I'm thinking, why would I ever wear this ring? Like, I'm playing this game by myself. And then I realized that you can fully do the whole playthrough with someone else, which is great. But my funny moment of the game is that I was killed by a fish while I was fishing, which, you know, should not happen if you played this game. Basically what happened to me is that this game, like I said, it's like slightly janky, and I pulled up my rod, and my rod was like, the like angle of it was like all messed up for some reason, like the visually, like it was messed up, and like the string attached to the rod, or whatever it's called, the fishing string, was like doing like a curve, like a weird, like it was attached to like an item or something in the environment that definitely wasn't meant to be like attached to. And so as I was throwing it, it threw it like at an angle, and it went so far into the pond that like a fish really far away grabbed it, but then I didn't have enough stamina, and so the fish pulled me into the water, and if you fall into the water you die. And so the fish pulled me into the water and I died. But I don't think that's supposed to happen, but I thought that was really, really funny.
Absolutely.
And then my favorite moment about the game, dude, is every single parry and kick combo that I landed, because everyone knows that Ben and we go crazy for the parries.
Parry gods.
That's basically the only way that you win this game is you parry, and when you parry they stagger, and there's no like finishing move when they're staggered. What you have to do is, if they stagger, is you have to kick them, and when you kick them they go down, and then you just absolutely chop the insect to pieces when they're let them have it. So yeah, those are my favorite things. And then if anyone is wondering, I think my favorite weapon, you get this like you get this lance. I liked all the lance or like the spear weapons the most. I think every interesting weapon was a two-handed weapon. There weren't a lot of interesting like one-handed weapons I found, you know, where you could like do a shield, but you can still parry with a two-handed weapon. So I was like, whatever. So I was just parrying with it. And then there's a spell that kind of works like a plague. You kind of give the plague to one insect, and it slowly starts chipping away at their health, but over time it gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and then if you defeat them, the plague will go to the next one, and then you can absolutely annihilate like mobs of insects with that. So that was really good. If this sounds fun, then you should definitely try Fly Knight, and that will do it for this mini VGBC. If you enjoy how Ben and I talk about video games in a video game book club form, that's literally how we do it.
Mostly
except it lasts. What do you mean? this is how we talk about it in real video game book.
Well, that was a demo of how you talk about video games.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. This is a demo of how I talk about video games in Video Game Book Club, but we do it in a 2-hour long format and not just 10 minutes. So
yes.
Yeah. Okay, Ben. I watched something on Friday. I texted you about it. And I said, hey, man, did you see Nintendo dropped a Nintendo Direct this morning? Mm-hmm. We should watch it for the pod. And you said, what did you say?
I said, I'm not watching all that.
He texted me back and said, hell no, bro. And I was like, what the hell? And then
I'm not watching an hour of Nintendo trailers. It's not happening.
And then he said, listen, man, don't feel like you have to watch it, all right? Like, you can just look at the list. And I was like, dude, I watched them whether or not we talk about it on the checkpoint. I love Nintendo Directs or like Sony showcases or Xbox showcases or whatever, because I want to know.
Listen,
what the heck is going on, you know?
I love the announcements. I'll just read like an article that outlines what happened, and then I'll go watch the trailers of the ones that sound interesting. I don't need to hear about, the weird obscure things that Nintendo's doing when they're not releasing actual games. But this was a big Nintendo Direct. There was a lot of actual games.
There's a lot of actual games. I'll have a lot of thoughts, because as I watched the game, I kind of felt the way that probably everyone who has grown up with Nintendo consoles and Nintendo games felt: excited. And then you take a day or so and the nostalgia kind of passes through your body, and then you say, I don't really give a shit, about anything that Nintendo is giving me. Like, genuinely, that's how I feel today. But if you had asked me Friday, my first note in the notes that I'm about to go through, because I did watch the Direct, is, oh, damn, Nintendo ate.
They ate.
and then now that I'm thinking about it, they kind of ate shit. Like, I don't know, man. It's kind of ass. Don't sue me, Nintendo. I'm sorry. So what happened in the Nintendo Direct? Basically, it's the 40-year anniversary of Super Mario Bros. And so they started with telling us, yo, we got a new movie for y'all coming next year, probably. It's the new Super Mario movie. It's going to be Super Mario Galaxy. And honestly, I'm pumped about that. I'm like, yeah, I like the first Super Mario movie. My nieces and nephews enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed watching it with them. So definitely going to watch that one. Also, Super Mario Galaxy is a banger. And guess what happened next, Ben? They said, oh, you like Super Mario Galaxy? Huh? You like it? Well, here you go. I'm going to give you Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Will be releasing as a combo on Switch. And then I was thinking, damn, Super Mario Galaxy was one of my favorite games growing up. I specifically remember getting a Wii when I was like 10 years old or 11 maybe for Christmas. Yeah. And the game that I was bought was Super Mario Galaxy. And I was eating my Christmas cookies, and I played like 10 hours probably of Super Mario Galaxy all day on Christmas Day. Probably, what was that, 2005 or 2006? Someone fact check me. Or 2007, I guess.
No, Mario Galaxy was...
But then I was thinking I don't know. You didn't like it?
No, I'm saying I think it came out after that, but I actually don't know now that I think about it.
I can Google it super quick.
Fact check.
2007. So it was Christmas 2007.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, November 1st, 2007. But then I was thinking, I'm not going to replay Super Mario Galaxy. Also, I'm not going to pay Nintendo $70 probably for Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Especially when I have purchased this game before and I own a disc of it and I can legally play it. Because I own this game. You know what I'm saying? I can play it on my Steam Deck. We'll see.
Nintendo would disagree with you.
And so I'm like, what the hell, bro? Like, honestly, you keep doing this, Nintendo. You keep releasing these $70 ports that aren't actual remakes. They're just ports, and they kind of are janky a little bit. And
yeah, I mean, listen,
you know, we don't want that. We don't want that.
This is the Nintendo ecosystem. We know what we're getting. We know that we're gonna suffer through 10 years of this at a time, and then they're gonna drop a banger like Tears of the Kingdom or Mario Odyssey or something.
Bro,
they pull us right back in.
They do.
Back in.
They do. They do drop the bangers. New
But
Mario
when they're
Tennis,
not dropping bangers, yeah, they're releasing Mario Tennis. I know you're hyped for that. You're a Mario Tennis boy.
Yeah, I am a Mario Tennis guy. I really liked Mario Tennis. That's my wife's favorite game. She doesn't play any video games, actually, but for some reason, she loves playing Mario Tennis with me. So we play. We don't play with any superpowers. We just play tennis, basically. We're playing virtual tennis, but with Mario characters. When our friends come over, family comes over, we play Mario Tennis doubles. It's great. So, you know, Mario Tennis 2, the one thing I was going to talk about that is that it has an adventure mode. It has online ranked mode, and it has a swing mode. And I'm like, why didn't you give Super Mario Strikers the same treatment? Give me an adventure mode in Super Mario Strikers. Give me better online, you know, ranked modes and ranked gameplay, and then give me some swing action with the Joy-Cons. Why not? You know,
you're gonna strap it to like your foot.
Oh, I'm gonna strap it to my ankle. I'm gonna like do an overhead kick over my couch. You know,
that'd be a banger. I would definitely break some lamps in the process.
Oh, dude, I would break my leg, I think. But no, you know, Mario Tennis, whatever. It's cool. New Yoshi game. It looks fine. I'm not playing that. Metroid Prime 4 looks kind of weird. I don't know. It kind of looks a little weird. You have a motorcycle.
So?
You have a motorcycle, and I think that's kind of like will be the main maybe traveling vehicle on this Metroid Prime. And so what I'm guessing is you're in this planet, or maybe multiple planets, but probably just the one. And I'm worried that in between all the different areas that you will be backtracking, instead of like backtracking through, you know, some dungeons and stuff, you're going to be backtracking with your motorcycle and like dunes of sand that will be empty and not have a lot of stuff in them. So I'm worried that like they're just making the game bigger by volume, by area, not by volume, I guess, by area, but not actually filling it with anything. So I don't know. I was just weirded out by that a little bit. But hey, you know, I love Metroid. I like Metroid Prime. The first one is the only one I've played, to be completely honest with you. So, you know, crucify me now. I haven't played 2 or 3. So I'm all right with it. They next said, hey, did you like DK Bonanza that released 7 weeks ago? Wow. Well, look at this, pal. I have a DLC already waiting for you, so that instead of paying $77, because, you know, there's tax in this country, you pay an additional $22, so a whopping total of $100 to play basically the whole package of DK Bonanza that they for sure had already prepared.
Oh yeah, that's just like for stuff that
Switch.
wasn't perfectly polished and ready for release, right? Yeah. They're like, we'll call that DLC. That's crazy.
Now the Nintendo
and it's two DLCs.
It's two. Yes, you're right. So it's
released.
But it's 20 for both or 20 for each. Do you know?
That I don't know. I hope it's 20 for both.
I hope it's 20 for both as well. But, you know, the Nintendo truthers on all the comments were like, actually, this is going to add as much content as there is already in DK Bonanza. So it's double the content. And I'm like, dude, shut up. Like, you're getting absolutely rinsed. And seriously. I get it. DK Bonanza is probably, you know, in the top, in people's top 5 games released this year. So that's great, you know. And if someone told you, hey, Ben, I'm going to give you the same amount of content for Expedition 33 right now for a $20 DLC, you would be like, hell yeah, brother, put me in there. But hey, it was $40 to begin with, or free if you played it on Game Pass, you know, free, quote unquote, I guess. So, you know, it's a little different. It's a little different.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Elden Ring, right? You get this massive Elden Ring game, incredible game, one of the better games of all time, probably. And then it was a while before the DLC, but you get Shadow of the Erd Tree. for $40, which was essentially, not the same scope as the full game, but pretty close. Like if you played Shadow of the Erdtree, it is a lot of content. So that's like, if you're telling me I can get as much content as the base game for, that price of the DLC, that's great. But in the price of DK Donkey Kong Bonanza, I don't know that.
And released 2 months after. 2 months later.
Yeah.
Let me simmer. Maybe this isn't even like a good business decision, I don't even know. Yeah. People that played Bonanza on release, I don't know if they are ready to go back in it. They probably played Bonanza for 10 hours a day for like 3 weeks, and then they're kind of like they need a break, Anyways, I don't know. That was a lot. Then they said, "Yo, look at this Pokemon Pokopia," and I said, "Skip." I said,
"This is crazy."
Immediate skip.
It's like Pokemon Animal Crossing. Like it basically looks like they pasted Pokemon assets into Animal Crossing, which I actually wouldn't be surprised if that's exactly what they did. But that looks crazy. A Pokemon farming life sim is not something that I want to play. I could see it, if you're a cozy gamer, I could see it being a game you enjoy. It doesn't come out till next year, so it's got some time. But speaking of Pokemon and speaking of Nintendo, we have to talk about the other things that Nintendo has been up to lately. Because when they're not releasing Pokemon farming life sim games that probably no one is going to play, they are just suing everybody. So there's one of the bigger stories that I've been hearing about a lot recently is the fact that Nintendo has applied for and succeeded in, been awarded a patent that gives them intellectual property essentially over any game that has summoning and fighting monster mechanics. Any game where you capture, summon, and fight using a monster, which is kind of a lot of games. And Nintendo has successfully gotten the patent for this type of gameplay, which is absolutely crazy. I don't know how that patent was ever awarded. I don't know if it's even enforceable. Like, legitimately, how can you enforce that patent on games like that? But we're playing Cassette Beasts right now. Cassette Beasts, would Cassette Beasts fall under that patent? I think so, probably.
Hey, you're not summoning. You are you transform into the beast.
You're right,
so
but
hopefully
if you're a Nintendo lawyer taking a look at a game like Cassette Beasts, where you record a monster and then you later summon the monster, transform to fight as them, you're gonna say that falls under your IP after you've been granted this patent. So that to me is just horrifying. And the part about it that gets me worked up the most is the fact that Nintendo has not released a genuinely well-polished, fun, interactive Pokemon game in 20 years at this point. They've been using the same formula. They have not iterated. They have not kept up technologically. The most recent Pokemon game that I played was Arceus, which came out a few years ago, which is pretty much the first time they tried to iterate on the mechanic. I enjoyed the game because I enjoy the core aspects of Pokemon, but it was the worst presented and optimized game that I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, whoa.
So the fact that they are so
you didn't play Gollum, dude.
Yeah, I didn't play Gollum. The fact that they're so intent on not allowing anybody to iterate on this style of game while they themselves also refuse to do so is it's infuriating to me.
It's crazy. Listen, I do, Pokemon is so popular, and it was popular 30 years ago and it's popular now. So they keep getting away with it. How can they get away with this? Because they just keep outselling every single other monster taming IP by millions of miles,
Yeah.
But I completely agree what you're saying and echo your sentiment of it. That's insane that you can do that, and that whoever signed that patent and did all the the research for it was blind, and they didn't really know what they were doing, and they had no idea how video games worked. Now, someone in the Discord did say that like that was a little bit of a misinterpretation of the patent. And I don't know if you looked at it further.
I don't think so. I think they have multiple patents on this type of stuff, and the most recent one is the one that covers like summoning and fighting mechanics, which is just crazy.
Then never mind. Then that's absolutely predatory and insane. Just like you said, the enforcement isn't going to come with, hey, take your game down. The enforcement is going to come with, hey, pay me royalties because you're using a mechanic that I invented, quote unquote, I invented, I don't know if they even did, but I have no idea. So, I'm sure there was some obscure game from 40 years ago that had some sort of summoning and monster taming and stuff. That is, Nintendo's is getting away with a lot of crap.
This is what they do when they're not releasing good or bad games. They're just like making life miserable for everybody in the gaming sphere.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Literally everyone. I hope if you're listening to this that you don't think that Ben and I are just like anti-Nintendo and like Nintendo haters at heart. No. Some of our favorite games are from Nintendo. Some of our favorite consoles are Nintendo. It's one of those things where like your hero of your childhood turns out to be a capitalist pig, and that's exactly what they are.
But it's like you have to. This is a company that we both have a lot of respect for because they've put out some incredible games. But you have to hold them accountable for stuff like this. Like it's just, if you want to have, the gaming ecosystem does not exist if it's just Nintendo at the top releasing games whenever they want, right? There needs to be a healthy ecosystem, and they're not letting that happen. You mentioned earlier about,
or they're trying their best to let it not happen,
Yeah, you mentioned earlier about, emulators and stuff like that, games that you physically cannot play any other way because they just don't exist any other way than emulators. They are saying, nope, sued. You can't download, you can't distribute, you can't do that with this game that we will not sell you and we will not give you any way to play, but you can't play it.
Yeah.
Even if you figure out how to, you can't do it. And there's so many, like we've touched on a couple, but there's so many examples of Nintendo doing exactly this. And it's just like so frustrating to watch.
It is extremely frustrating to watch. And not just that, like then you have to pay their online service subscription to even have access to some of the DLC that they're releasing for their games, which is insane. Like, do I actually own this game, and can I add on to the content of the game just because I own it? Or do you want me to also pay you more money so that I'm allowed to be in the good graces of Nintendo and inside the Nintendo circle, so that then you can sell me this piece of content that I can add on to a game that I already own? It's like, okay, how much money do you really want, Nintendo? Thank you very much. I thought the movie that you made $1 billion or more. What the hell?
I think
for them that's
fine.
Nothing, It's insane. The other couple games that were released on the trailer, it was the new Monster Hunter Stories. I've never played them, but hey, that's a monster collecting and summoning game, so we'll see how that goes. But they're releasing a new Monster Hunter Stories that will be releasing for Nintendo consoles too. I've never played them, but I always thought they looked good, and I always wanted to play them. Not the actual Monster Hunter World games or the true Monster Hunter series, but the Monster Hunter Stories side. I think I would enjoy that one. Then Resident Evil 9, which we all know that's coming out, but they released a little bit more of a showing, I think, on the Nintendo Direct. And then a new Fire Emblem. And as you know, I love Fire Emblem. I'm a Fire Emblem boy. Now, Fire Emblem, I am a truther. I'm a Fire Emblem truther. I'm a combat first, min-maxing savant of Fire Emblem. And definitely the last few entries have focused a lot more on like the life sim, of Fire Emblem, focus on your hub and the relationship with your characters, and you have all these like non-game activities that you can do, non-core gameplay activities that you can do in the hub with all your characters, and I could not give two craps about it. I am in the hub only when I need to be, and I'm out of the hub immediately so I can go and actually play Fire Emblem, which is a tactics RPG, they released Fire Emblem. I forgot the name already. The Fire Emblem that they released previously, the one with the red and blue haired dude, was a little bit closer to like the OG Fire Emblems. It was a lot more combat focused and a lot more like chapter by chapter like story, but there was still a hub that you can again have really weird interactions with underage characters. Like you are sleeping in your bed and someone wakes you up and you can choose which character wakes you up. Good morning, Ben-san. Like come, and you're like, get out of my room, So it's super odd. Fire Emblem's always been a little bit of a weirdo, but pumped for the new game. It looks pretty good. Of course, it looks like there will be an overworld and like a hub again. So we'll see how they kind of handle that. But it seems very unique in terms of the theme and the story setting. So I'm looking forward to playing it for sure. But Ben, there are two gigantic games that were announced or released, in the last month. Or
in both. The case of one of them, announced and released.
in the case of one of them, announced and released since we last spoke in the last checkpoint. So one of them had a trailer in Nintendo Direct, and the Nintendo Direct kind of like helped that like official announcement on Friday morning, which is that Hades 2 will be releasing on September 25th. So in 11 days from now, we will have Hades 2. They had been dormant since their last announced early access update. And they said, hey, this is the last update, and we will kind of communicate further whenever we are planning on releasing this game. And then they said, yo, we're releasing this game. And we had talked about this in the Video Game Book Club Discord. I thought, hey, my bet will be Christmas time. Like they'll wait until the end of the year, get bunched up with like the games for Game of the Year for 2026 and not the Games of the Year of 2025. Not because I don't think it can win it, but because there's been incredible games this year. And also a Christmas release just in general made sense to me, based on like that's when you buy games for people and stuff like that. Yeah. But dude, I am absolutely pumped for Hades 2. Hades 1 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's in my top 5, as everyone knows who knows me. I played it millions of hours. I 100%ed it a million times, and I just love it. And I have been such a good boy at not spoiling any single thing about Hades 2. Yeah. For myself. Yeah,
because it's been in early access for a while. I haven't touched it.
I don't even know what the weapons are. Yeah, same. Only the weapons that like they showed in the trailer. Like I don't know anything. Like I really have been, as soon as I see something on Hades 2 in my feed on any social media, I skip it. I skip it so much that I think the algorithm thinks I hate Hades, Oh no. They're probably like, man, he probably hates Hades. I'm not going to show him anything.
This guy's a hater.
I'm a hater, but I'm not a hater. I'm a lover. So
I'm the hater.
You're the hater. You have been a hater, but you need it to be. So I appreciate it.
I'm not a hater. I just have opinions. All right, people?
I know, dude. I know, bro. I'm just joking. This is having to do with the Split Fiction stream. So
yes, there's been some discourse. There's been discourse in the Video Game Book Club Discord about if I'm a hater or not.
But Ben, what about the other game?
Dude, yeah. So people have been waiting for it for close to a decade at this point.
Yeah, 7 years, I think.
Since the previous one was released. Hollow Knight SilkSong, dude. There were whispers in the wind of SilkSong. When will it be released? No release date given. For years and years and years, slow updates. You had people on like niche communities like losing their minds trying to dissect every piece of every information about the game to figure out the release date. And at the end of August, Team Cherry just said, hey, we're going to release it in a week. So here it is. And it's out. People are playing it. People are having a really good time with it. It seems like it's just kind of like, from what I've seen, it looks like more Hollow Knight. Like, it looks like there's not same engine, same visuals, same enemy style. I think the combat, is obviously going to be very different because we have a new character, Needle. But yeah, I mean, it looks great. People are really enjoying it so far. People are saying it's a lot more difficult than the original, which the original is no slouch. Like, it's not the hardest game, but especially if you do the late game content and the optional bosses and stuff, it's hard. So if this game's harder, that's going to be something.
And Ben and I are notoriously known for liking challenging games. So I'm just so excited to play it. But I have a confession. Okay. I never finished Hollow Knight.
Wow, really?
Did. Yes. So I had a glitch the first time I played it. I have a Steam Deck. I feel like I talk about my Steam Deck every single episode.
Number
of the
one, we get it.
Yeah.
Yes, JP, we know you have a Steam Deck. Thank you.
Yeah. And the first time I played Hollow Knight, I was playing it on my Steam Deck, and I had a kind of like a save bug that happened whenever, I guess, the
save
game...
Save bug, get it.
Oh, yeah.
Wink, wink.
Oh, I do get it. With the Steam Deck, the Hollow Knight would not save like my progress. So what would happen is I would play, and I would like genuinely like rest at a bench and then keep going. But if I didn't die, then it wouldn't like actually save. And so then I would die, and then it would bring me back to like when I first launched the game, like an hour or two before. And that happened twice. So the first time it happened, I was like, unlucky. It's all good. But then it happened again. And that's when I put the game down and I said, I can't play a game that doesn't save my progress on a game that is so important to have progress, like, because reaching some areas is so difficult, and you rest there and you think, oh yeah, it says it's saving, and I have the little shell saying autosave or whatever, but then it didn't work. And so clearly that's something that probably lasted only a little bit and they fixed it. But when it happened, I just was the unlucky person that played the game in that exact week or so that it wasn't patched, and for the release of the, in the Steam Deck, when the Steam Deck came out, I mean, and I got cooked with it. So
what's the plan? Do you need to finish it before you play SilkSong?
I really want it. So I enjoyed my time with Hollow Knight so much, and two of my brothers have played it, and they love the game so much, and they talk to me about it as if I finished it because they think that I have, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, actually. And it's such a classic, and it's such a game that, like, I know in my heart of hearts that would be probably one of my favorite games of all time if I actually had finished it, but I never did. So what I want to do is I want to play Hollow Knight before I play SilkSong. I've heard that you don't have to. I've heard that you can absolutely just play SilkSong. You might miss some kind of like banter probably, but like not. I don't think anything story wise you're gonna like really miss. So now that the game has been out for like a week or so, people are saying that for sure you can totally just play SilkSong. But I'm thinking I'm gonna play Hollow Knight. And I'm gonna try it on my Steam Deck, and hopefully it does save my progress. And then after I'm done with that, I'll play SilkSong. So I might not play SilkSong for a little bit, man.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
We, as everyone knows at this point, we're Video Game Book Club. We're playing games every month.
How many times can we say Video Game Book Club?
Video Game Book Club.
There we go.
Every month is a new game. We cycle. I pick a game. JP picks a game. JP picked Cassette Beasts, so we're playing Cassette Beasts. But every third game, we do a community vote. Mm-hmm. And we decided kind of implicitly within the community, everyone kind of came to a consensus that the October game of the month, the theme for the votes, the games that we will vote on, will be spooky, right? Because it's October, it's Halloween. We'll do a Halloween special. I'm sure maybe we'll do some costumes. And the October game of the month is going to be spooky themed. My question: is Hades 2 spooky enough to include in the community vote?
Oh my god! That's an incredible question. Yes, especially this.
You think so?
Yeah, it is. Now, is the community going to choose it? Who knows?
Yeah.
But if one, they choose it to be in the poll, and two, everyone votes for it and it wins, majority vote for it to be our game of the month, I say bring it the F on. I will play that thing for hours and hours. The problem is I completed Hades 1 in like 97 hours. So do I have 97? I did a lot. I did like a lot. I probably actually finished the story, which is like the first 10 runs that you beat in probably like, less than 20 or 20.
I have to confess, I don't think I even saw the true ending of Hades. I finished a few runs with a few weapons and I was like, that's good.
Are you? You're joking.
I'm not. I'm not.
Oh, dude, I have no idea. I thought.
I played
much
like
as me.
No, I played like
maybe not as much
20,
as me, but
25 hours. Like I played a lot. I got up to, I did maybe I don't even know what the true ending is, honestly. Maybe I got it. I have no idea, but I don't think I did. So I don't know.
That's crazy. No, I was like, farming the heats and everything. Like I was trying to get every weapon to hit 16. Because that's when you get like 16 was like to me like the most fun, like the most challenging. Like I didn't want to get to hit 32. That to me that's too much. But I maxed out every relationship with every character. Just try to do everything. The book of I can't remember, but you have a book in your room and it tells you all the challenges that you want to do. I did all of those. Yeah, I just was so pilled on the game. Yeah, if people want to choose Hades 2. And like we will call completion when you do those 10 runs and you see the full story, then bring it on, because that doesn't mean 90 hours of game time. That means probably like 25, like you said, and I can do 25 in a month,
Yeah, totally.
But if the people don't choose it, and obviously they will pick the spooky game of the month that they want for us to play, then hey man, you have a pick. You have a
it's
pick.
It's the will of the people, man.
Will of the people, exactly. But in general, 2025 has had so many good game releases, and it's really unfortunate that I don't have all the time in the world to play these games, because I have a real life outside of the screen and a family and a job and stuff. But I wish for sometimes 1% of the time, I just wished that I was in a cave with all of access to every single video game ever. And I could exercise at least, because I can't just sit and play. I mean,
you can run around the cave. Yeah,
run around the cave, I guess. Have good Wi-Fi, fiber, hopefully in the cave.
This is a nice cave.
It's a nice cave, comfy chair, and then all.
I think you're describing a basement.
No, I don't want to have a basement gaming dungeon. That sounds kind of weirdo. But yeah, I just wish I could play all of them. And every time someone talks about a 2025 release game that I haven't played yet with so much enthusiasm, I just feel a little bit jealous. And I'm like, man, I kind of want to play that game now, But that's just in the era that we are in, We talked about this last time, but a lot of COVID games were pushed and they're releasing now, and that meant that other games were pushed, and that's why we get all these huge batch of games. I think in general the gaming world keeps evolving and keeps putting out these bangers that people will know that will like, and man, I'm here for it.
Same. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. And you know what we're going to be here for in 2 weeks' time? A nice conversation with no hate, Ben, I'm looking at you, of Cassette Beasts.
If you listen to the episode, comment below. Was I hating? No, I wasn't.
No, he wasn't. We're going to talk about Cassette Beasts in 2 weeks' time, so please join us for that. If you are still listening to this is the longest checkpoint to date, I think. Leave us a comment, give us a like, do all the YouTube things, or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, because we really appreciate it.
Give us those ratings.
And I hope you have a really good weekend. And hey, you know what day it is tomorrow? Monday. Independence Day for El Salvador. So,
nice.
To all of you Central Americans, and I think also a couple other countries in South America or maybe Mexico, happy Independence Day. I will be celebrating. So,
Love it. Happy Independence Day.
Hey, thanks, brother. You guys have a good one. Bye.
Bye.